Hi guys, it's Jada, and today we're back with another video, and I'm here today with
Natalie Elizabeth Wright.
So for today's video, we're going to be doing a kind of like, I guess you could say like advice video for the incoming juniors. There's a lot of videos of like for incoming freshmen, but not many for incoming juniors, and I think it's harder to prepare for junior year than it is just like freshman and sophomore year. So that's why we're doing today's video of how to prepare to be an incoming junior.
How to prepare to be an incoming junior.
Yes. So we just finished junior year, and
Let's just say it wasn't the best time in our lives.
So basically Natalie and I started junior year off as ASB students. We started off with the intentions of going full IB and taking all honors classes. My classes were, at the beginning of the year, were all honors or IB or AP. So I had 1 AP, 1 honors, and 4 IB classes on the first day of school. Natalie, what did you have?
5 IB, and then I dropped down to 4 and I have 2 honors classes.
So basically we both kind of dropped down in 2 different areas. She dropped down in a history class and I dropped down in my math class. So if you don't know what IB is, it's called the International Baccalaureate Program, and our school is an IB school.
It's like known like internationally, and so like you're learning the same curriculum as somebody who takes IB in like Singapore or the UK. Like everybody's learning the same thing.
Yeah, so basically the classes you're taking can be counted as college courses depending on the college you go to.
And remember at the beginning of the year, we thought it was so easy. We were like, oh my gosh.
So dumb.
Everybody who said junior year was hard is like dumb. Like,
yeah,
it's so easy.
As the year went on, I'd say we were probably, both of us were definitely going pretty strong until like November hit, and it was just like,
we didn't go to school that. Like,
oh yeah, my absences were so bad. Both of our absences were really, really bad. It was like everything was going so good and going so easy, and then like the junior year like
set in.
Yeah, like actually set in, and it was like end of September when things that you thought were gonna like be easy started getting hard. So whether that's like with friends, with school, with sports, like things just started getting a lot harder than they had been before. So yeah, we both kind of took drops in our schedule, which kind of lightened the loads, but as soon as we dropped those classes, we took on another class, which was called TOK, and that's called the Theory of Knowledge class, and it's another IB full diploma like requirement.
We only have 6 periods in our day, but we also are in ASB, so we have to be there like at 6:45 every day for like ASB, and then we had TOK.
Yeah, so our Mondays were from 6:45 in the morning until 7:30ish.
Well, we got a break. Like I had we had practice,
and mind you, like with those 13-hour days, we didn't have time to do homework from ASB to school to what's it called?
To practice
to TOK,
and then we'd get home from TOK and do
homework.
Well, I'd eat and like see my family for like 30 minutes. I'd force myself to go to sleep by midnight, and then I'd wake up at 4 to like do my homework.
I had enough. Like I was so done. I was having issues with friendships, issues with like school and sports. Like it just all kind of accumulated into this big thing, and I completely like burnt out. There was a time in January where I didn't talk to anybody for like 2 weeks at school. I just went to do my work, and then I would come home and just do more homework and like not talk at all. So my mental health at one point was so bad, and I didn't want to do anything about it. I just hated school so much. And mind you, with those 2 weeks, I probably showed up to school like for like half days every single day. Like if you look at my attendance,
I had perfect attendance for 7 years, and then I was like, you know what?
Then junior
year was like, why go to school? Like just stay home, do your homework. We would stay home all day and do our homework, and then go like our 5th and 6th period to turn in all of our homework, and like that's it, and then go to practice.
I decided that I needed to drop something. I was doing a sport, I was doing the TOK stuff, I was doing IB, I was doing just normal ASB. The easiest thing for me to give, because I wanted to have like not the same thing repeated senior year, was to give up IB. This was all kind of happening around like March-ish, so I dropped out of full IB, and then I ended up quitting the sport that I was in also, And after that, I had a lot more kind of like time to just like sleep and just focus on school and focus on ASB and do homework.
Couldn't be me.
When I quit, I didn't automatically quit all of my classes and have like 3 classes. 4 of the courses that I was in are 2-year classes. So when I quit those, it just meant that I wouldn't continue on to the next year. Now on to like the advice portion of this video. Honestly, it wasn't awful during
We made it so fun.
We
I
made it
promise,
every-
like we made every day as fun as we possibly could.
If you're gonna go into junior year and be like, well, this person told me it was gonna be awful, this person is gonna tell me it was gonna be awful, you're not gonna have fun. Like, as long as you go into each day like trying to find the good in each moment, basically, like, you'll have fun. It'll be good. It'll be hard, but like it'll be good.
They say like you start off with a big huge group of friends and then like it narrows down, and I was like, oh heck no, like that's never gonna happen. Like I'm always gonna have like a whole bunch of friends that I love so much, but then things just change.
And I feel like because junior year, like, people grow so much, you all grow up, so you kind of realize what's gonna work and what's not gonna work. So like friends, you may have like your set friends, but don't be completely closed-minded to the idea of change when it comes to friends, because I feel like if I would have stayed very closed-minded with like how I wanted to go about having friends, I wouldn't have half the friends that I have right now. Once you open up, there's so many more friendships that you can have, and like it makes your life so much more fun.
It's so fun.
So yeah. Okay, second is like time management, and I know everyone like freaking says this, and it kind of got annoying to me at a point. Like everyone was like, manage your time, manage your time, manage your time. But like having social media timers is such a good idea.
Like just stop complaining. I need to learn this too, but like stop complaining about it and just like get it done, because the more you spend time like being like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do, the less time you're gonna have to
actually do
you
it.
know.
That's good. That was good. That was good. Don't overbook yourself. Learn to say no, because just because you say no doesn't mean you're mean. It just means that like you know yourself, and you know that like if you continue doing this, or if you even start doing something, you're not going to be able to give it your 100%, or else it's just going to end up hurting you in the end, and you don't want that.
And you just crash and burn.
And you just like die. 3, school events.
I think just the most important thing is, I know this sounds like an ASB kid. I am an ASB kid. So with school events, I think it's really important that you are just open to the idea of like going to things. Like football season is so fun, and but you have to make it fun. It doesn't just, you can't just show up and be like, okay, like why
Where's
am I
the
not
fun?
having fun? Like you gotta make it yourself, you know? Like take the initiative to like do things that you're actually like excited about and have fun with, and like incorporate other people into it that you wouldn't think like they would want to do it, because sometimes people just like want to have fun.
Sleep is important. It's so
You
important.
can't say something like that.
Yes, I can.
I mean, it's
sleeping. I
important,
slept
but
a
like
little bit.
literally it makes you so much more productive. Like
When you
then you
aren't-
want to be at school. You're not tired all the time, like sitting in class falling asleep. You're actually like engaged and like wanting to do
be there.
things and hang out with friends, and then people like you more.
So sleep. Coffee addiction. I don't even know how to go about this. I have no room.
So we went to Starbucks every day. Most people, your junior year, you get your license, right? And when you get your license, like, you just want to drive around and, like, get food all the time and, like, hang out with friends, right? And so we kind of fell into an addiction, like, even more than we already had. I never drank coffee until my junior year, really. And then I started going to Starbucks every morning and getting coffee because I needed it to survive.
I don't know. I think that also kind of leads back to sleep with the coffee part, but like
It wouldn't
try
have
to
happened
sleep.
if I got to sleep. Like I literally wouldn't like coffee.
On my social media, I asked you guys to ask us questions about junior year and kind of like tell us what you're scared about, what you're excited about, whatever, just like anything, and then we'll respond to it. So, first question, are SATs really that stressful?
They're not that stressful because I didn't study.
Neither did I.
You usually take your SAT like the spring of your junior year, you know? And there's so many other things that are stressing you out that it's like stressing you out about a test, it like isn't worth it. Like there's so many other things to be stressed about, and I think by stressing out about the SAT, like, just
take the SAT or take your ACT during a time where you're not stressing about so many other things. Like, I know they had us do it in the middle of March, and like I said, that was like a whole bunch of changes for me, like trying to figure out which way I wanted to go with certain things. So take it at a time where your brain isn't in another place when you need to be focused on just the SAT.
I took mine the weekend after Coachella, or Stagecoach. So I don't think that was the best idea, but you know what? I can get into college with my score, so...
What are the IB classes like / how are the exams?
I took one IB exam this year, and it was IB Math, which is apparently supposed to be like a joke in the IB program, but like, the test was pretty easy, and like, IB classes overall, it depends. Some are like, so hard.
Oh, okay.
But then some are a joke. So it just depends on which ones you take, and I chose, like, for the most part, my IB classes are pretty easy. It's just like IB Bio, like,
IB Bio, I think that's hard at every school. I think it's very...
If you can avoid it at all costs. That's all bio.
All bio minus that, like, thick book in the middle. That's a push. But, like, all of this is bio plus, hold on. Plus all of these were just bio. And, like, some of the labs would take, like, hours on hours on hours. And then others would be, like, 30 minutes. But, like, still, it just, like...
And they'd be worth the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important.
I'm, like, getting stressed out.
Like, I've always been the kind of person to do all of my homework, like, no matter what. And I realized a lot this year that things that are worth 10 points, you shouldn't be spending your time doing that. If it's, like, in the homework section of your grades, like, it just doesn't matter that much. Well, I always stress. I can't say that.
IB English is definitely not like, it can be hard at times, but it's not going to kill you.
It's passable, and it's
a good class.
It's a good class to take. It's really good for life lessons.
Yeah. Any elective course that's an IB class
is doable.
Is completely doable. And my IB art class this year was my favorite class out of all of my classes.
It made your school life just more enjoyable. You went to that class and were able to be creative and have a good time in school no matter what you were doing, because like me, I'm not a really creative person, but like being able to do something just to make you happy and creating like something that you're proud of is so important to like giving you something to relieve yourself during like such a stressful school day.
How do you drop out? I have looked. There was a time where, I'm not kidding, I was so like,
she talked about it for like 2 weeks. She was like, guys, I'm dropping out.
No.
Don't drop out.
Drop out of IB if you want, but like don't drop out. Like,
make your like load as easy as you can. If just like
make your load so that you can handle it. Don't over challenge yourself to the point where you're not sleeping for 2.5 days, because no one can handle not sleeping for 2.5 days.
Like, high school is 4 years of your life. That is so minimal to the rest of the life that you are given. And I think the most important thing in life, I watched this video about this valedictorian, and he was saying how, like, he sacrificed so much to become the valedictorian because he was so focused on school and, like, being successful. And it only lasts for, like, this much of your time, where making connections with people is for the rest of your life.
For chem, we both took chem our sophomore year, and we also had different teachers.
Chem isn't that okay. In my opinion,
math people, chem isn't.
I'm a math person, and for my opinion, like, chem isn't that bad because it's literally just math most of the time, and it's not like super hard math. It's just you have to be like really focused and like be willing to take the time to do it. And it's really frustrating because sometimes it can take a really long time, but it is worth it, and I personally enjoyed the class.
I, on the other hand, am not a math person. English is definitely my strong suit in, like, art. So when it comes to math, mathy science is just, like... So chemistry was hard. But one tip I can give for chemistry, because I did not do this, is focus in class on every lesson despite how boring it is. Because every lesson is like a domino. You have to know the lesson before in order to like understand the next lesson. The amount of homework every night for IB or AP classes. How much homework on average?
Okay, so I think I personally had more homework my sophomore year than my junior year, because the thing with IB teachers is they have everything due within the same weeks because they have deadlines of when they need things like to be turned in. And so it kind of just ends up that everything's due around the same time, and if you procrastinate, then it just won't go over well.
Someone said how to stop being a procrastinator. That's all up to you. We kind of talked about it earlier with the phone thing, because we're in like a generation of like constantly being on our phone, constantly sending Snapchats, constantly sending out tweets, posting on your Instagram. If you're not posting on your main, you're posting on your Finsta. So like I feel like for me, when it was time to do homework, I was constantly on my Finsta like laughing at like what other people were talking about for their day, or like posting like, oh my gosh, I have so much homework. And like she said earlier, the whole like, rather than complaining about it, just take that time you spent complaining and just push it towards actually doing it, saves you a lot of time. Okay, I got a lot of questions that were like specific towards our school, and I don't want to answer those just because like I want it to kind of be kind of more broad. So yeah. So that is all we kind of have as our piece of advice, our 10 cents on junior year.
So my little piece of advice to give everybody is just to make connections with people and not be so focused on just the school aspect and like sports and stuff like that, but talking to people that you wouldn't usually talk to and making connections with people that you know you'll have for the rest of your life, because it's just so much more important than schoolwork.
Yeah. My piece of advice is like two things sort of. The main thing is stop caring what people think. Even though like I'm one to like that also is still learning that. Stop caring so much about what other people think, because the more you care about what other people think, the less time you have to spend like having fun. Especially if it's negative. They're already below you, so they're trying to bring you down by saying negative things. So just don't care. And with that kind of ties in, try and avoid gossip at all costs. Your life will become so much more freeing once you stop being tied to the opinions of others. That was deep. That's all we have for this video. We hope it helped you in some way, in some form. Don't get scared for junior year. Be ready, be excited, have fun. You have 2 more years of high school. If you liked it, leave a like, comment more videos ideas that you want us to do, and
comment if you want to see me in these videos more. Our social medias will be down below.
And in the next clip. So, here's that clip.